Hello, fellow safety and health professional, and welcome to another podcast in a series of podcasts based on an article in Safety and Health magazine that's all about you. Fans will go to ridiculous lengths to root for their team. I know we all know that. I'm a football fan. I don't go to ridiculous lengths, but I will cheer and holler and scream and get upset when my team loses and be thrilled when they win. I'm an Eagles fan. I live near Philadelphia. The word fan comes from a longer form of the word fanatic. And the definition for fanatic is a group or person marked by excessive enthusiasm and often intense, uncritical devotion. During my talk, Create a Vibrant Safety Culture, I show pictures of different fans all around the world and their ridiculous costumes, all painted up and have all kind of props and things that make them look fun. And they do it to support their team, of course. Well, I gave a talk a couple weeks ago in Missouri. So, of course, I showed some Kansas City Chiefs fans, including someone who was in a full wolf costume because you couldn't tell who he was. Wolf is their mascot. And he's gotten the name Chiefs-aholic. He got arrested because he was robbing banks to get money to pay for tickets for Chiefs game both at home and away. Now, that is one dedicated fan, though I'm opposed to him robbing banks. But why do we do that? Why do we go to such great lengths to root for our team? Well, there's actually parts of your brain, one's called the PSTS, that is dedicated to getting you to want to help your team or tribe or the people that's in your group. It's actually kind of a survival mechanism in our brain. Very, very powerful. Perhaps one of the most powerful drives we have is to help our team. You and I, as safety pros, can use that drive to help us with our safety culture and with our safety program. You can do it for all different things. It doesn't just have to be safety. And for yourself, too. It's very invigorating to be able to feel like you're helping your, quote, team, whatever that means. Now, let me give you 3 ways you can do that. First, latch on to something special or do stuff that makes you and your team feel special. Recently, I worked at a nuclear power plant. I stopped in this past May, but for about a year and a half, I worked with a group, and we were demolishing, it's called the New Rad Waste building. Now, they were demolishing the whole site, but we were assigned, the group that I was with, to demolish the New Rad Waste building. And we ended up calling ourselves like the New Rad Waste Gang, and we'd have some silly sayings, and we'd always be, doing stuff, even make up like silly sayings. Like here's one we would say: we will leave no gunk behind. And in this case, gunk meant contamination. Now, there were 5 other main groups at the site, but we felt special. We excelled as a team, and we were regular helping each other. We would do so much funny, unusual things. Now, I was a big proponent. I was in that group, and as soon as I came, we started doing that even more. There already were, though. It was a pretty good group. There was about 30 of us. So latch on to something. We had a T-shirt even for ourselves, and placards we'd put up, and I would give out finger puppets and just all kind of crazy stuff we would do. But we worked hard, we worked well together, and we cared for one another. So latch on to something whenever you can, even if you just like something symbolic that your team stands for, rather than just, great job, but, we do a special job. We don't leave any gunk behind or whatever. Number 2, remember your actions matter and remind yourself of it. And your team members, whomever that may be. Las Vegas and other game betting organizations usually give an NFL team that's home 3 points automatically. Not always, but usually. And they do that for 2 reasons. One is because the team players know the field better. They'll feel a little more comfortable than an away game. And also because the fans and how much they support the team with their energy and their screaming and all that kind of stuff. And so regularly remind your team members that what they do matters, and remind yourself about it. It's a powerful morale booster. Here's a good example. I had a carpenter come up to me once and said that because of my safety meeting on eye protection, and I brought in an egg, a hard-boiled egg, and I'd peel it, and then I'd get a stone, and the way I would push it through the egg and describe it was almost gruesome, but not really. It's just an egg. But still, he said that inspired him to dust off his eye protection at home, his glasses that he normally didn't wear when he did weeding with a weed trimmer. And that's what I was trying to show. If something from a weed trimmer, like a stone, hits your eye, it's like, I showed how it pushed right into the egg. He said, like the third or fourth time he was doing his lawn with the glasses on, a piece of something hard, he didn't know what it was, hit right in the center where his eye would be on the glasses, and it made a scratch mark on the glasses. No doubt it would have injured his eye in some way. And so for me, it made me feel really inspired that my work, what I did in this case, helped this thing called safety. It made a difference. So keep those type of things in your mind. And also, for a third way you can help yourself and your team is to keep the goal in mind. I know we do it all the time with our, recordable rates and things like that. But if you can realize how much of a difference you make, and how much you make, if you want to call like all of us Safety Pros one team, I know I do it as much as I can, and it helps me to feel like I'm doing something for a larger purpose. Be sure to celebrate your wins and learn from your losses. During my talk, when I was in Missouri, before I spoke, it was an awards breakfast, actually. And man, there were so many companies there that were it had to do with mining, that had gone ridiculously good amount of time without a lost time accident, years, decades, a couple of them. And I got up on stage, and shortly after my introduction, I told everybody, I said, you know what, we are part of the most wonderful team there is. I said, it's because I started in 1981, and just since then, we've progressed so far and have done so many wonderful things. Then I proclaimed to the audience that we will make an even bigger difference, or at least a huge difference as a team in years to come. But our challenges are getting tougher now. Things like mental health, which is a very complicated issue. That's not as simple as just wearing eye protection when you trim the lawn. But if we work together as a team, and I'm sure we will make this world a safer place.